So, you're looking to create a long-term content strategy for your business. You've come to the right place. By the end of this video, you'll understand the importance of taking the time to plan a well-thought-out content roadmap. You may be eager to get started creating content, but if you don't have the right strategy in place, then you shouldn't expect to be successful in the long run. Knowing how to plan and organize your content initiatives will set you and your business up for long-term success with your content strategy. To start, planning provides a roadmap for your content. You'll be making confident and more tactical decisions regarding what topic you'll be talking about, what format your content will take, and when you'll be publishing it. With a content plan, you and your team can stay organized and even factor in ad hoc content requests like company initiatives or other on-demand marketing tasks. To get the most out of your content planning efforts, think of your long-term content plan like a savings account. If your goal is to retire someday, then you need a plan. In order for that plan to be successful, you need to be dedicated to putting away a certain amount of money on an ongoing basis. The more consistent you are with contributions, the better your return on investment. The same can be said about your content. If you make a plan and are consistent in executing, then you're giving yourself the best chance at achieving a positive return on investment from your content creation. Think of each piece of content you create as an installment towards a growing library of helpful, educational content. The more content you create, the stronger your authority and your relevance, turning you and your business into thought leaders within the industry. It's important to note that obstacles and roadblocks will come up along the way. It happens to everyone. But having a plan will make it that much easier to regain alignment, as well as understand your team's bandwidth and priorities for what needs to get done and when. And speaking of priorities, a long-term content plan helps you stay organized. Most often, marketing teams place a focus on more than one content initiative at any given time. A long-term plan accounts for all upcoming initiatives and allows for an agile content creation process. When you're organized, you can align your content marketing goals with the overall goals of the business. In essence, it gets the marketing team in line with the current initiatives of the entire organization. Content is not just about supporting the marketing team. It should be about supporting the sales team, the customer service team, the product team, and so on. And so by aligning your content marketing goals to the overall goals of the company, you can rest assured, knowing that your focus will provide an immediate impact to where it matters the most, creating the best end-to-end experience possible for your audience and customers. How do you do this? You tell a story. Content is the fuel that keeps the inbound methodology running. The inbound methodology is composed of 3 stages: attract, engage, and delight. Inbound businesses use this methodology to build trust, credibility, and momentum. It's about adding value at every stage in your customer's journey with you. With this inbound approach, you'll grow a well-informed audience. And when this audience is ready to make a purchasing decision, they'll likely consider your products and services. Let's review the 3 things you need to do to set yourself up for success: setting marketing goals, auditing or assessing your organization's initiatives and assets, and identifying the buyer's journey for your buyer personas. A buyer persona is a semi-fictional representation of your ideal customer based on real data and some select educated speculation about customer demographics, behavior patterns, motivations, and goals. The buyer's journey is the active research process someone goes through leading up to a purchase. To learn more about the buyer persona and the buyer's journey, check out the resources section below. I've also included a link to HubSpot's free Make My Persona tool. The ultimate objective here is to have a unifying document that you can use to keep track of your long-term content marketing initiatives. First, let's talk about setting your marketing goals. Setting marketing goals provides you long-term vision and short-term motivation. It helps you organize your time and resources so that you can make the most of your content creation efforts. Each piece of content created for a marketing initiative should be tied to a goal that is also directly related to the overarching goals of the organization. Alignment like this creates purpose and focus with each piece of content that you create. Let's take a second to think about this. Assume your company's quarterly customer goal is 100 new customers. You also know the number of leads needed to generate 100 new customers is 250 website leads, and that the number of unique website visits needed to generate 250 website leads is 1,500. Now, you need to take into consideration what content you should create to hit your unique website visits goal. Each goal you set should be a SMART goal. SMART stands for specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and timely. A potential SMART goal example could be increase monthly unique website visitors from 1,000 to 1,500 by the end of this year. The second step in creating a long-term content plan is auditing or assessing your organization's initiatives and assets. Your audit will consist of two parts. First is a content audit to organize and evaluate your current assets. And second is an event-based audit to account for upcoming activities or events your business plans to host. Let's begin with the content audit. Your goal with the content audit is to identify all of the assets your business uses to attract and engage your audience. Your goal here is to identify gaps or opportunities in the content your business is currently using to help turn your audience into customers. And while your entire business may be creating and using this content, understanding and organizing it is generally a function of your marketing department. There comes a point for every marketer who has been generating content for a while when they realize they have no idea where all of their content is or how much they actually have. Content has likely been created by you or your predecessors for a long time. However, it's possible content has also been created by other individuals in the marketing department or from subject matter experts on other teams, and is scattered just about everywhere. By doing your content audit, you'll be able to identify resources that you already have, which could save you hours of content creation time in the future. There's no use in duplicating your efforts. And don't forget to stay organized when conducting your content audit. To keep things streamlined, organize your content audit by these categories: content title, buyer's journey stage, lifecycle stage, content format, targeted buyer persona, topic, and any additional notes that provide value or context. Now, it's time to do some digging for content assets such as guides, worksheets, or sales collateral. I recommend systematically combing through the following dark corners where content can typically hide, like that old file manager or the marketing folder on your computer. Ask your sales team what type of collateral they use. Check in with more tenured employees, because you'll be surprised at the wealth of knowledge they have here. And pour through your customer relationship management system, also known as your CRM, and your content management system, also known as the CMS. Okay, I think you get the picture here. Let's take a look at a content audit from a company called Kids Talk, created by Maren Schmidt. Maren offers advice and resources backed by 30 years of experience working with young children. Notice how Maren already has content spanning the awareness, consideration, and decision stage of the buyer's journey for multiple buyer personas. Additionally, each piece of content corresponds to a specific lifecycle stage. Moreover, Maren has many different types of content formats to offer her buyer personas, like an ebook, a study guide, and a webinar. Notice how Maren uses the notes field to explain the contents of her content offer, though she may not need this for every piece of content in her audit. Now that Maren has documented her assets, she'll be able to refer to this audit in the future to pinpoint what content she already has, as well as easily identify gaps for future content creation projects. The second part to completing your audit is to conduct an audit on your event-based initiatives. This means you'll need to take into account any upcoming projects, priorities, or events that would involve content creation from your marketing team. By doing this exercise, you'll identify content that could support each initiative. Additionally, it will give you the opportunity to see how you can connect this content back through the buyer's journey through an inbound marketing campaign. An event-based audit should be organized by the following areas: upcoming monthly priorities, initiative overview, theme or topic, prospective blog post topics based on buyer personas, and an inbound marketing campaign that ties your efforts together. Take a look at what Maren did for her event-based audit. You can see that Maren has a few events and workshops she may need content for. You can also see that the content is grouped into an overall theme for the next 3 months with associated blog post topics that integrate with an inbound marketing campaign called Preparing Your Home the Montessori Way, which is an ebook. Now just try and imagine for a minute if Maren only planned for the month, initiative overview, and theme without topics for blog posts that associate with the relevant inbound marketing campaign. Yes, she would have noted there are a series of events coming up in the next few months, but she would have missed out on the opportunity to tie everything together with a series of blog posts that could connect to a relevant content offer and provide value to her marketing offer library. There's one last important step needed to create a sustainable, long-term content plan, and that's identifying the buyer's journey for your buyer personas. Remember, you're creating content that's meant to attract and engage your buyer personas through their buyer's journey. From the awareness stage, where this person has a problem or a list of questions that they're trying to learn more about, through the consideration stage, where you're discussing possible solutions to that problem or that list of questions, and ending in the decision stage, where you're recommending next steps. The consideration and decision stage is generally where you're talking about what your organization's products and services have to offer, while the awareness stage is more industry-level education. Identifying this content will help give you content ideas to work with in the future. But before you can identify the buyer's journey, you first need to know your buyer personas. Keeping this in mind, let's take a look at one of Marin's buyer personas, Montessori mom Mina. Here's an overview of Mina as a buyer persona. Mina is a working professional, a married woman, and a devoted mother of at least one child under the age of 6. Mina generally skews female, is between the ages of 28 and 35, and lives in an urban environment. She also has a bachelor's degree and earns around $60,000 a year. Mina wants to understand child development and do what's best for her children, understanding how to set limits for behavior, and have effective communication tools to use with her kids. Mina's challenges are that her children won't listen, and she has to deal with tantrums, all of which overwhelm her as a parent. Marin knows that Mina looks to her friends for suggestions on solutions they use with their children. However, Mina's resourceful, and she uses Google to find answers to problems that she's looking to solve. Great! Now that you know who Mina is, let's take a look at what her buyer's journey might look like in a little bit more detail. To start, you know it's important for Mina to do what's best for her children. So, how about an awareness stage ebook, which offers a list of parenting problems you can avoid? This is something that would bring value to Mina's search. Once Mina's been educated on parenting problems to avoid, she might be looking for even more content. What about following up with consideration stage information, like a questionnaire regarding family needs to better understand a possible solution? In this case, parenting the Montessori way. The questionnaire outlines both the needs of the child as well as the parent. But maybe Mina needs a little bit more information to progress into that decision stage, something that educates her more on how to best prepare for Montessori. What about a free consideration stage workshop that explains how to prepare your home the Montessori way? That might do the trick. Now with the solution to her problem, Mina's ready to make a decision. What about offering Mina a 1-hour strategy consultation to discuss the next steps for her child and Montessori? That could be a helpful service to offer Mina. And that's an example of a complete buyer's journey. It's important to note that the buyer's journey is ever evolving. The more you learn about your buyer personas, the more you'll be able to refine and grow their buyer's journey resources over time. But it starts with first identifying content needed to complete the buyer's journey, which you can then plan out over the course of a year to keep your content creation sustainable.